Hi everyone, Meteorologist Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. Hope everyone is having a nice Wednesday morning. Going to be dealing with quite a bit. There we go. Kind of computer didn't do the right thing there. Going to be dealing with rain and thunderstorms as we head through the day today. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about some cloudy and cooler conditions that we're expecting as we head into the upcoming weekend as well. But again, a lot to keep an eye on as we head through the day today. So we're going to talk about all that here over the next few minutes or so. But again, starting off with a look at the Lincoln Weather Almanac again. Yesterday, high of 84, close to a record of 87. The low yesterday morning was 49 degrees. Today, our average is 60 and 35. We've already hit our high for the day, and we're going to see temperatures continue to fall as we head through the remainder of the day today. So let's see. Oh, my computers are having all sorts of issues right now. Hold on, let's see if we can try this again. We're stumbling out of the gate a little bit here. But already had our high for the day. Temperature is going to continue to cool or hold steady as we head through the remainder of the day today. And again, already dealt with a little bit of rain early this morning across the area. There was one spot, there we go, Hastings, that's already picked up a decent amount of moisture, 4/10 of an inch so far this morning. Officially at the Lincoln Airport, no moisture just yet, but we have seen a couple hundredths here in town and across the Lincoln Metro. And you can see a couple other locations across the area picked up at least a little bit of moisture this morning. Tacoma at a 1/4 inch, York at just over 1/10 of an inch so far this morning, and we could end up seeing some pretty decent rainfall totals with some thunderstorms that move through the area today. And again, we'll check out the precipitation totals and what we could expect to see here in just a minute or so. But again, in the Lincoln Metro, if you look at oh my gosh, my computer is just having trouble. In the Lincoln Metro, if you look at rainfall totals, these are from the Tempest weather stations here in town. You can see generally less than 1/10 of an inch so far, but again, we have picked up a little bit of moisture across the city this morning. So again, as you head out the door, the streets are at least a little bit on the damp side. 500ths again here at the 1011 studios in Midtown Lincoln. I've had 300ths at my house. But again, you can see most locations around 500s, between 500ths and 1/10 of an inch of rainfall early this morning. So again, the severe storms or the potential for severe storms headlines are forecast as we head through the day today. We're going to potentially see two rounds. One as we head kind of through the morning into the afternoon, and then another round as we head towards later this evening and tonight. That second round looks like it's going to mainly impact I think areas down to our south and to our east along the front, and that front, again, already kind of pushing through the area. But again, could see some pretty strong to severe storms. There is the threat for some tornadoes, especially into extreme southeastern Nebraska, then across parts of eastern Kansas. But hail and wind and some areas of locally heavy rain are likely going to be the main threats for most of the 1011 coverage area. And then that cooler and wetter pattern, it looks to continue. We will see a couple dry days Thursday and Friday, again, to finish October for all the trick-or-treaters. The weather looks cool and dry. Friday to start November also looks cool and dry, but then into the weekend, towards early next week and into Election Day next week, there is chances for showers in the forecast basically every day. So again, that cooler, wetter pattern looks to kind of emerge. Right now in Lincoln, again, a few minutes past top of the hour, you can see temperatures into the mid-50s. Again, early this morning, we had temperatures in the 70s. So actually our high for the day today is going to go down in the 70s. Let's see if I can pull up what our high already was for the day. Yeah, so at midnight, our temperature was 76 or so, and then dropped down to 64 as that front moved through at around 4 a.m., and again down now to about 54 degrees at the Lincoln Airport. North wind not nearly as breezy behind that front at around 13 miles an hour. Visibility is down to around 6 miles. Temperatures across the Lincoln Metro this morning generally sit in the middle 50s. Again, according to the Tempest stations across town, across the state, we still have some warm spots or a warm spot really down in Falls City and far southeastern Nebraska. That front hasn't quite pushed through yet excuse me, temperature is still 73 degrees this morning, 60 in Nebraska City, 57 in Beatrice, 54 here in Lincoln, upper 40s for Grand Island, York, Hastings, mid 40s in North Platte, and mid upper 30s across parts of the Nebraska Panhandle. So quite the spread of temperatures early this morning across the state. You can see winds behind that front out of the north at around 10 to 20 miles an hour. They'll be a little bit breezy, but nowhere near where we were yesterday. Again, especially in the southeastern corner of the state when we had wind gusts between 45 and 50 miles an hour yesterday afternoon. Still have that southerly breeze, though, in Fall City as that front hasn't moved through just yet. So you can see some of the activity scattered, generally light shower activity that we've seen move through the area already early this morning. But you can see down to our south and east, down across south central Nebraska into parts of north central Kansas, more activity developing, again, behind that front. And is continuing to push basically to the north and to the northeast. So, again, more showers, more thunderstorms are expected as we head through the morning hours and into the afternoon. And then that second round will develop, again, along that front. But it looks like that second round, as I mentioned, is going to be impacting mainly areas to our south and to our east, at least south and east of the Lincoln area. So, again, we're going to keep an eye on this activity that's lifting northward into the area. Again, we're going to continue to see some of these thunderstorms lift over the training of our thunderstorms, so they're going to continue to lift and continue to repeat over areas that have seen rain. So again, that's where we could see some of those higher rainfall totals across the area, especially into the southeastern corner of the state. So again, but nothing severe on the board right now. But again, as we head through the day today, that certainly could change. So if you zoom out, look a regional view, you can see all that activity again currently that's developing across parts of central Kansas. That's all going to continue to lift to the north and east into our area as we head through the morning and into the afternoon. Also still have some ongoing snow showers across parts of the mountain areas across Colorado and Wyoming. Zoom out further, look at a view nationally. Again, for the most part, right now, all the active weather is across the middle parts of the country as we have an upper level trough that's swinging through the region. If you look at the weather alerts, again, there's nothing right now in terms of any severe potential, but we would likely expect to see maybe a severe thunderstorm watch or a tornado watch issued later this afternoon, and likely that would be in extreme southeastern Nebraska and then across parts of northeastern Kansas and potentially portions of western Missouri as well. So again, you'll want to keep an eye out for that. Still have some winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings in place for the mountainous regions across parts of Colorado and Wyoming. If you check out Skycast, again, this is 10 a.m., has that activity kind of across the area. I think looking at real world versus what the model has at 10 a.m., again, I think the model is maybe a little bit too far to the east. But again, the general trend is going to be these showers and thunderstorms, again, down across parts of Kansas, continue to lift northward through the morning and into the afternoon hours. Again, thunderstorms could be strong to severe at times, producing some quarter-size hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds, some areas of heavy rain. Again, can't rule out, again, an isolated tornado. I think there'll be better chances as that second line kind of develops later this afternoon into this evening across parts of eastern Kansas. I think that's where the real threat for tornadic activity would likely be. There's not a lot of necessarily energy or instability in the atmosphere, but there's a lot of wind shear with this system, so a lot of twisting and turning of the winds. So again, that's when I think our rain chances will likely be highest as we head through the morning into the early to mid-afternoon hours for us here in Lincoln and southeastern Nebraska. There will be some shower activity on the back end of this system. You can see that by 5 o'clock across the western sections of the state. I do think then that as the system continues to pull out of the area, that shower activity will try and kind of give us another little round of some light rain later this evening into the early part of the overnight hours. Our in-house model does have a lot of that fading as it moves to the east by late tonight, but we will keep that chance for some showers in the forecast all the way through late tonight. By 10 o'clock, you can see that pretty stout line of thunderstorms stretching across parts of, again, western Illinois down through Missouri all the way into parts of eastern Oklahoma. Again, there will be severe potential along that line as it continues to push eastward. So again, pretty stout line of thunderstorms there. But again, past 10 o'clock tonight, and as we head tonight and into the day on Thursday, we're on the back end of that system. We're on the dry end of that system. So into our Halloween on Thursday, we are expecting, again, cooler weather, but we are expecting to see generally sunny weather and dry conditions across the state as we head through the day on your Thursday. And winds, again, shouldn't be all that bad, maybe gusting up to around 20 or 25 miles an hour. But again, not much wind, not much cloud cover, and no precipitation as we head into our Halloween. So again, trick-or-treaters, they may need to bundle up a little bit could be on the cool to chilly side as we head into Thursday evening, but we shouldn't see any clouds and we shouldn't see any moisture to damper any of the Halloween plans on Thursday. Thursday into Friday, kind of more of the same. We're still looking at mainly sunny skies, maybe a little bit breezier as we head into the day on Friday, but again, temperatures fairly seasonal for us, 50s and 60s. As we head towards Friday night, we'll start to see a chance for some showers and thunderstorms back in the forecast. Snowfall potential as we head over the next couple days. Again, you can still see areas to our east across Wyoming and Colorado could still see some additional light to moderate snowfall. And then as the system pulls out of the area, some snow is expected across parts of Minnesota into northern Wisconsin. So again, getting cold enough, again, late enough into the year now that we are going to keep an eye on that. Our in-house model, as far as precipitation potential over the next day or so, again through Friday at 5, again has that swath, that highest potential across the far southeastern corner of the state. Does include, again, at least parts of Lancaster County, but again, that is just one model. And again, we have been burned over the past few weeks, with some of these rainfall events where we've expected maybe to get something, and things really haven't panned out. But this is a look at what the 6 main weather models that we kind of look at have for precipitation potential for Lincoln over the next 24 hours, generally ranging anywhere from around 2/3 of an inch to an inch and a half or so. So I think rainfall for Lincoln between half an inch to an inch is a decent bet with this system as those showers and thunderstorms move through the morning into the afternoon. And again, already looking at where those showers and thunderstorms are developing across parts of Kansas. I think again that's a pretty good bet. Again, things are lining up for us to get potentially some decent moisture here in Lincoln and across southeastern parts of the state. I've mentioned the threat for severe weather a couple times. This is the severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center for the day today. You can see actually an enhanced risk. Yesterday we were talking about a slight risk. Now it's up to an enhanced risk. So again, that's a 3 out of 5 on that SPC scale. That enhanced risk, meaning numerous severe thunderstorms are going to be possible. And this is expected kind of with that second wave of thunderstorms that we're expecting to develop this afternoon into this evening. And again, it's mainly going to be across parts of Kansas. We do have that marginal risk for the I-80 corridor between Lincoln and Omaha. So again, an isolated strong to severe storm possible for us. That slight risk as you head down into Gage County and into parts of southeastern Nebraska. That enhanced risk does just touch into far southeastern Nebraska, Richardson, and Nemaha County. So again, the further south and east you go, the higher potential you have to see some of those severe storms, especially later this afternoon into this evening. But again, Lincoln, Omaha, can't rule out maybe an isolated strong storm, but I think our main threat is going to be just, again, some rain and thunderstorms as we head through the morning and into the afternoon hours. But we will obviously keep an eye on that threat for any severe weather potentially impacting the area. So again, don't let, if you're watching now, don't let right now be the only time you check in on the forecast as we head through the day today. So if you break down that SPC outlook, again, the tornado probability is going to be highest across extreme southeastern Nebraska down across parts of eastern Kansas, 10%. Again, you can see technically Lincoln not under any of that tornado probability. Far southeastern Lancaster County has that 2% chance. So again, chance isn't 0, but it is pretty low for us here for most of southeastern Nebraska into extreme southeastern Nebraska, northern Kansas, that we think that tornado threat will be highest as we head through the day today. Again, the main threats for the southeastern corner of the state if we do see severe storms would likely be wind and again some hail. So again, could see gusty winds 60 to maybe 70 miles an hour and maybe some quarter size hail and maybe a little bit larger than that at times with some of those stronger storms. So again, something to watch out for as we head through the day today. 7-day rainfall potential. Again, you can see a really good swath across the plains, especially across parts of Oklahoma, eastern Kansas, into parts of eastern Nebraska, but certainly Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin going to be dealing with decent amount of moisture, more than we've seen potentially in a long time as we head over the course of the next 7 days. Again, a lot of this is going to be coming today into this evening, but we're also going to be dealing with rainfall chances as we head into the weekend and into the first half of the week next week as well. So if, again, you zoom in here on southeastern Nebraska, take this with a grain of salt. I really want to drive home the fact that, again, you can see it's a pretty tight gradient. from Kearney to York. You're looking in terms of maybe a quarter to a half an inch to maybe seeing upwards of 2 to 3 inches or more. So again, really tight gradient and potentially who sees a lot and who sees a little. Right now, again, the way things are set up, real world, looking at the satellite and radar earlier, it does look like things are set up that I think this forecast does look good. And again, I would expect some pretty high rainfall amounts across parts of southeastern Nebraska. But again, that grading is pretty tight from who sees a lot to who sees a little, even from who sees maybe 3 to 4 inches to who sees 1 to 2 inches is pretty tight. But again, expect some pretty high rainfall amounts, I think, across the eastern third of the state as we head over the course of the next week, which again, don't necessarily want to see it all at once. But again, we are short on our rainfall and have been pretty dry over the last several weeks and even the last several months. So it is nice to see the rainfall chances in the forecast. As far as temperatures are concerned, again, highs today, we actually already had our high temperature for the day today, but again, afternoon temperatures generally anywhere from the low 40s to the low 60s for most, a little bit warmer in far southeastern Nebraska. In Lincoln, we'll say around 58 maybe this afternoon, so we might see those temperatures pop up a few degrees this afternoon, but more likely than not, we're going to continue to see those temperatures cool off as we head through the day today. Low temperatures tonight will be chilly, especially out west, falling into the mid-20s, and then into the mid and upper 30s to the low to mid-40s as you head across the rest of the state. In Lincoln, we'll go right around 40 degrees for a low into Thursday morning, upper 30s for Grand Island and Hastings. High temperatures on Thursday. Again, these are actually fairly seasonal for, the end of October, maybe a few degrees below average for the northern half of the state, but we're looking at mid-50s to right around 60 degrees across the state for the day on your Thursday for Halloween. And again, into Thursday evening, again, we'll see those temperatures cool back pretty quickly too, with clear skies and fairly light winds. So again, expect a chilly evening for the trick-or-treaters tomorrow night. Low temperatures into Friday morning, mid-20s to mid-30s across the state. Highs on Friday, a little bit warmer, a degree or two above average, generally in the low to mid-60s. Not a bad start to November for us. Saturday morning, again, temperatures anywhere from the mid-30s to the low to mid-40s across the state. Saturday, again, starting off cool, starting the day cool, and then only getting into the upper 50s to low 60s for Saturday afternoon highs. And again, we'll start to see those chances of rain back in the forecast as well. Generally looking at showers, but can't rule out maybe a few stray thunderstorms for the day on Saturday as well. Again, obviously, we'll keep an eye on that forecast as the Huskers are hosting UCLA for a 2:30 kickoff Saturday afternoon. 7-day forecast looks like this. Again, you can see very good chance for rain today, but on the breezy side, dry and cooler for Halloween and for Friday, and then staying generally in the upper 50s to low 60s through the weekend into early next week. Again, decent chances for showers, and again, maybe some thunderstorms at times through the weekend and into early next week as well. So again, seeing that active pattern finally returning to the area. Again, don't forget, we fall back Saturday night into Sunday morning, so we got to set those clocks back. Again, also a good time to check those smoke detectors and replace the batteries in those. But again, do get that extra hour of sleep this weekend. And again, Election Day next Tuesday looks cool, seasonal, 57 for a high, 30% chance for some showers. Again, a little bit of a north breeze for the day on your Tuesday of next week. 10-day forecast for select cities across the state looks like this. Again, for a long time, over the past several weeks, we've seen the cooler weather, but it's only been brief. It's been a day or two, and we'd see things warm back up. But generally looking at 50s and 60s over the course of the next 10 days across the state, and even some spots only seeing highs in the 40s for a couple days over the course of the next 10 days as well. Rainfall potential, again, you can see very high, especially for eastern and southeastern Nebraska today. Generally dry with Thursday and Friday. Then those rain chances return into the weekend and into early next week. Things maybe dry out briefly towards Wednesday, Thursday of next week. But again, a lot of rain chances to keep an eye on in the forecast over the next week to 2 weeks. 8 to 14-day temperature outlook. This takes us November 6th through November 12th. Better than average odds to see above average temperatures across the region. Doesn't necessarily mean we're seeing 70s and 80s, but might just mean 60s now at this point, because by that time our average highs will be generally in the mid-50s for most of the state. And the precipitation outlook, again, favors above average precipitation across the state as well, which again, if we saw wetter than average November, I think that would be okay, considering where we've been over the past few weeks. So a lot to keep an eye on as we head through the day today. I really quickly want to go back to the satellite and radar picture, just again look at where we're at now. because, again, we are going to be keeping a close eye on the satellite and radar as we head through the day today. Nothing severe out there right now, but we do have showers and thunderstorms developing down across parts of Kansas, down to our south and east, and that activity is going to continue to lift to the north and east as we head through the morning and into the afternoon time frame. So, again, expecting I don't think it's going to necessarily rain all day, but we are going to keep an eye on basically periods of showers and thunderstorms as we head through the day today. If I go ahead and pause this where we are right now, again, so you can see all that activity down across, already pushing into parts of southern Nebraska, but all that activity down across parts of central Kansas, going to continue to lift into the area as we head, again, through the morning and into the afternoon time frame. An occasional stronger storm can't be ruled out in there. Again, that second wave of severe weather expected to develop later this afternoon. And again, mainly going to be impacting far southeastern Nebraska, parts of eastern Kansas as well. But again, we'll obviously keep an eye on that. As I mentioned, don't let this be the last time you check on the forecast as we head through the day today, as it is expected to be a fairly active day across the state and across the region. So appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching. As always, again, we'll keep you updated, so make sure you keep it tuned to 1011 both on air and online for all of your latest news, weather, and sports. And until next time, hope everyone has a nice Wednesday.